welcome to more Curse Lounge with me, your host, BGMP33. Coming at ya like Cleopatra, coming at ya, Cleopatra. It's day 65 and this music's really loud. When I record it, it's not going to be so loud, but yeah, it's blaring my ears out. Blaring! Grimoire or Unforgiven Swamps? Unforgiven Swamps. Blah, blah, blah. Talk with Enoch. Enoch, can I make the preparations to travel to Hammerhound? It's not a good idea. In order to hunt minor hellhounds. I still can't believe I agreed to go along with his crazy plan. It'd been one thing if I seriously thought he wanted to go solo to prove his immune to dark magic, but his idea was so specific. I feel like he has ulterior motives. Enoch, be honest with me. Is there any other reason you wanted to do this? Besides proving that you can use dark magic without consequences to a polymetra, of course. No, that's absolutely the only reason. Why'd you ask? Enoch? What? Is it just me or are you getting worse at lying as time passes? I mean, normally, the more someone does something, the better they get at it. But in this case, it's so terrible. Like, really, really bad. I don't understand how you can be so awful at it. How rude. Come on, Enoch, can you really stand there and tell me you're not into this? Okay, this music's too much. That's what I thought, but why lie in the first place? I think about it for a few seconds before realising the answer is really obvious and really dumb. Please don't tell me this is about cooking. Why aren't you talking? You told me not to tell you that it was about cooking. Enoch. If you read that book, you'll understand the description of that hellhound pot roast. It sounded so good, Daniel. My mouth's all got watery just reading it. There you go, it's probably best that you don't read about it since eating it will probably instantly kill you or drive you insane. In that case, it might be worth it though. That's it. You owe me a dinner. I does a sigh and then give in. I'm going to use some kind of reward for putting up with this. And I obviously can't eat hellhound meat, so if you want my help, you're going to owe me dinner for this, right? Got it? Woo, woo, woo! Oh, I'd love to cook dinner for you. That little spot near the river is so lovely at night. You see the stars, hear the crickets. It's all very romantic. Enoch stops us to think about what he just said. Not that it'd be a romantic dinner, of course, I just say. I smile at him as he cautiously smiles back. I don't push the topic any further. Instead, I notice that he's carrying a bag that looks like it's stuffed with various books. Do you have a recipe book with you? Yes, here, take a look, page 102. Hellhound pot roast. He digs around for his bag for a moment, falling out the right point, handing it over to me. Wanting to see what the fuss is all about, I end up reading the recipe as we travel towards Hammerhound. Within the description and the drawing of the dish, I can understand why he wants to try it so badly. I just wish I could eat it too. You really do enjoy cooking, don't you? You still seem to have a lot of books on the subject. Oh, not all of these books are recipe books. I do like cooking, but I also just like reading in general. I'll read any book I can get my hands on. Back when I was being a bad magger, I used to take all the books we find in the caravans and get salted. And the young magger was really interested in mine, so I didn't have to worry about sharing them. I got to keep them all to myself. Anyway, because of that, I ended up reading all sorts of things and decided that cooking seemed a worthwhile art to pursue. In general, naggers don't have a very developed sense of taste. Most of my companions were just content to just eating raw meat. Of course, that's probably mostly due to the fact that they never bothered trying anything else. Like what you were getting at before, when people start asking questions and finally by the rules set by others, ignorance prevails. And that questioning attitude can be surprisingly harmful. In a way, this all relates to our mission. We need to get out there and get more information. Be more curious, more hungry. Why are the vampires doing this? What is this mysterious mist? Is there some higher magic at work here? All those are good questions that we still need to find the answers to. I look at him and smile and take his hand in mine and squeeze it gently to show my support. He blushes shyly for a moment before looking me in the eyes. You're right, knowledge is power. Only in the way we're used to thinking of it. There's definitely merit in the search for it. We're going to end up getting close to this mist. Maybe hunting hellhounds might inadvertently lead us to some new information. This trip may end up being more productive than I originally thought. And even if we don't find anything useful, I'll still get a good meal out of it. Enoch's grin widens as he says the last sentence. Eventually, we arrive on the outskirts of Hammerhands and immediately start scouting our surroundings for any signs of the hellhounds. Do you have an actual plan for that to find the hellhounds, or finding them should be quite simple actually? Hellhounds are like big dogs. The adult ones are roughly the size of horses. The ones in this area don't quite grow so big as the ones in the Everburn Mountains, but they should still be quite heavy. When such a heavy animal goes through a place, it's bound to leave large tracks. So you're saying you just follow their tracks like a normal hunter? Exactly. Sorry if you were expecting something more grand. Maybe a dark magic ritual to locate the hellhounds. If you want, I can pretend to cast some spell in there. I pinch him in the shoulder, considering his muscles. I've already barely felt the blow. But as always, he does like to exaggerate. How rude. Anyway, I tried to keep up Daniel. I found some fresh tracks again while following them. Already? That was fast. Us naggers have to hunt food for survival. We're a nomadic race, and we don't do any farming. It's only natural that we end up being skilled hunters now. Ahem. When we're not robbing trade caravans, of course. I guess it would be hard to start up in the middle of the swamp. I can see how hunting would be your best option. Still, I doubt enough skill is too suitably for him being a nagger. Imagine all of the extreme things he's done in order to get ingredients in his recipes to give him more experience than your average nagger. I followed his lead, and after a few short minutes researching, we reached a small cave. Do you think there are hellhounds inside? Probably. Let's investigate it more closely. Isn't it dangerous to go inside? It is. That is why I'm going to cast my ice shard spell inside the cave. Cold should draw out whatever is inside. It should give us a fairly significant advantage. Clever. I guess I should have expected something like this from Enoch. I'm sure it's come up with all sorts of fascinating ways to hunt. It might be interesting to tag along on more of them in the future. I'm preparing myself for a fight as Enoch starts casting the ice shard spell. As soon as it hits the inside of the cave, we see a big flash of ice, and then 3 smaller hellhounds come rushing out from it. There are 3 of them. Yeah, sorry. I didn't consider the possibility they might be travelling in a group. Maybe I was giving Enoch too much credit earlier. Phew, glad that's all over. All that's left is to collect the meat I need. Alright, I'll go keep your watch up on that hill over there to make sure we won't run into any more surprises. The last thing we need is another fight. Good idea, Daniel. I'll try to keep this quick. I head over to the hill and keep an eye out for trouble for a few minutes before Enoch approaches me carrying a bag full of meat. Blood is dripping from the bottom of it, giving the whole thing a very macabre vibe. Wait, we need to cook it or it would be rancid by the time we reach Grimmauld. Don't worry, that shouldn't be an issue. Enoch snaps his fingers and a minor version of his ice freezes the meat instantly. This also happens to solve the blood dripping problem. Nice idea. This way we can cook the meat right in front of Polymecho. Then I have no choice but to admit that you're immune. That is the idea. Enoch and I continue chatting as we start our way back to Grimmauld. Well, I've held up my end of the bargain. You better start thinking about what an amazing dish you're going to have to pay me back. That's going to be a difficult decision to make. There's so many options to consider. Do you have any requests, Daniel? Oh no, I'm not helping you with this decision. I want it to be a surprise. Besides, I'm sure you'll enjoy whatever you make, no matter what it ends up being. Thank you, Daniel. I'm sure to surpass your expectations. At some confidence still, I'm sure he will. We're just into silence a bit before Enoch eventually speaks up again. You know, I guess it's kind of pointless to tell you this now, but I would have made you dinner even if you hadn't helped me with this mission. All you had to do was ask. I know. Then why did you ask me to make something as an reward? I guess it seemed better this way. I mean, it wouldn't be fair to you if you cooked for me all the time and I didn't do anything for you in return. Enoch flashed me a smile. I wouldn't mind. After a few hours of travel, we're back. Enoch and I go to Apollo Masha and get started. Enoch cooks a hellhole meat in front of Apollo Masha, who looks surprisingly bemused. It's a nice change from his usual annoyed expression. Once the dish is done, Enoch digs in. I can't help but be a little envious of taking out of you for it. Look on his face. The hellhole and pot roast looks and smells delicious, but I know I can't eat it myself unless I'm ready to die or go insane, which I'm not. Life can be cool. The dish eaten, Apollo Masha proceeds to administer the test. The divine juice trembles over so slightly, but grows still shortly after. Well, it looks like you were right, Enoch. It's true that the juice moves a little, but considering how much dark magic you just ingested, it's nothing sort of incredible. A man, elf, or dwarf would already be suffering severely. I suppose you're satisfied now? Yes, well, I still don't approve of the use of dark magic, and say without certainty, it won't drive you mad, Enoch. I'm comfortable with you reigning on Daniel's team. We leave Apollo Masha's room shortly after, and when we do, Enoch turns to me and grins broadly. Demonstrating magic resistance to Apollo Masha, we need to hit some hellhound. The hellhounds, Enoch can then cook and eat their meat to demonstrate he's innate dark magic resistant. What an adventure, eh? It ended up being a pleasant diversion. I mean, I don't like that Apollo Masha couldn't choose my judgment when it came to you, but it did good and give me a good excuse to spend time with you. And you really are an amazing cook, Enoch. All that reading paid off. Ooh, sexy time. Thank you, Daniel, but how can you say that when you didn't even get to taste the dish? Experience with your cooking for one thing, and I may not have been able to taste it, but I could definitely smell it. The aroma was nothing short of amazing. I'm sure it tasted fantastic. This may be insensitive to say, but yes, it really was. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time today. I need to start heading back to the swamps, and I know you have your own tasks to get back to. Oh, before I go, don't forget that I owe you dinner. I'll let you know when I have time to make something really good. Naturally, I'm looking forward to it. Enoch flashing me one last smile before taking his leave. Well, I guess that's my cue to get going myself. Ah. Back. Let's go back to Grimmer. Party talk. Talk with us there. Hey Daniel, how's it going? Just checking in on you. How goes the bread making? Well, I gave a few more tries, and I think I'm not just cut out for baking. Really? You're giving up on it? I wouldn't say I'm giving up on it, as I'm resolving to move on to something else. But what exactly my hobby should be, I'm not quite sure of. Still, I'm glad that I spent time baking. I learned something about myself in the process. What did you learn? I perform best in times of need. I don't follow. When I was a girl, I made bread because it was cheaper than buying it. My bread making was something born out of poverty. On a certain level, I enjoyed it. But the reason I did it was because I had to. Now going back to baking as an adult, I don't approach it with the same sense of severity. It's more of a hobby at this point. Is that a problem? Baking is a science. It requires lots of attention to detail. When I was a girl working with limited resources, you can be very sure I never spilled anything. Every ounce of flour was accounted for. I paid very close attention to the details. But coming back to it as an adult, I just don't approach it with the same level of precision. I'm not as fastidious as I once was. The sense of necessity and pressure is gone. I began working in the kitchen and my mind begins to wander. I lose my sense of focus and I don't concentrate fully on the task in front of me. Back then I was hungry. I knew that my ability to eat depended on my ability to bake. That gave me a kind of vigilance that I can't match now. Maybe you just need to try cooking on an empty stomach. It's not the same, no matter how I approach it. Cooking is a hobby now. I'm not worried about feeding myself or my mother. I know I won't get hungry now, and because of that I've lost my edge. I think that's why I'm here to like combat so much. A certain sense of power in the throes of combat that I find energizing. When I get injured, it's exhilarating in a sense. The closer to death I am, the more focused I feel. Do you think that's odd? Do you have a similar kind of reaction in extremely stressful situations? I would prefer perform worse when stressed. I don't know, Desiree, when I'm in a stressful situation, I tend to perform worse. Woo! Wow, I've actually got into the wrong line of work then. I hear that fighting vampires can be pretty stressful. I mean, I can hold up under pressure, but I'm most effective when I'm relaxed and feeling control of the situation. So is that your secret? You always feel like you're in control? I wouldn't say that I crave danger. When it comes to me, I welcome it with open arms. In fact, part of me is tempted to go and seek it out. That's pretty just rare. Looking at you, most people probably wouldn't expect a woman of your stature and constitution to be a thrill seeker. Think about what I was doing when you met me. I was stealing from a high-powered man with a reputation for ruthlessness for no exact reason other than primarily satisfy a personal vendetta. That's not the kind of behaviour you expect from a mild-mannered person. True. I don't know what it is. Whenever I'm confronted with danger, it feels like everything is up to fate, and in a weird way that gives me a certain sense of peace. And that's why you're bad at making bread. Yes, I guess you're right. I just need to find a more dangerous hobby. Do whatever you think you need to do. That's rare. If you want to go thrill seeking and adventure forth and confront danger. Oh my god. Having enough to Sire or whatever desire. You seem to be taking this revelation very well. But please, you can rest assured that I have no intention of placing myself in danger's way. I'll enjoy danger when it comes, but I'm not going to deliberately put myself in peril. At least not until this whole business with Lamar is over and done with. Anyway, thanks for hearing out, Daniel. It feels a little bit crazy for me to hear myself say these things out loud, but in a way I've come to understand myself better. Body talk, up with Varel. I meet Varel back in the infirmary at the edge of Grimwall. Daniel, how fortuitous for you to arrive just now. Your arrival could not be more timely. What do you mean, Varel? I was about to heal the boy, or make my best attempt at it at least. You mean you haven't healed him yet? No, you see, jewel wort is similar to other herbs that I use in my healing, but it is more difficult to channel through. But with practice, I think I have the ability to use it effectively without damaging the herb or the boy. Is there a big ceremony that you have planned, some healing ritual? No, nothing so grandiose as that. Healing him here is no different from healing someone in battle. I'm even using one of the same staves that I use in combat. Why have you gone to heal him? I don't mean to hold you up. Let's end this boy's suffering. Phil nods and turns to the bed beside us. He holds one hand over the boy's chest, while the other grips the staff and pulsing energy erupts on his hand. The energy dissipates as it touches the boy, and Varel collapses to the floor. Varel, are you alright? I just overextended myself a bit, I'm fine. The question is he? But I lean in to speak softly in the boy's ear. Anton, can you hear me? Suddenly the boy begins coughing and spluttering, and a thick black liquid comes out of his mouth. Rose quickly tilts the boy's head to the side, allowing the fluid to flow from the boy's mouth and nose onto the floor. What's that? If you're worrying about some disease or foulness or plague, it's nothing at all. It's simply all the dust that has accumulated in his boy's lungs over so many months. He should be able to breathe properly now. Anton, can you hear me? The boy blinks and nods and watches a trail of dribbling fluid from the corner of his mouth. Burrell picks up a cloth and hands it to him. Blow your nose into this. The boy blows into the cloth, and Burrell takes it back. As he crumbles it into a wad, I notice the cloth is almost completely black. Anton, listen to me carefully. I want you to pick up a cloth from that table and blow your nose into it once before we go to bed, and once again when you wake up in the morning. You'll do this every day until I tell you otherwise. Do you understand? The boy nods, then looks at me and cocks his head. Who is he? This is Daniel. He's the one who helped me find the thing that cured you. I don't feel cured. I feel sick. My head hurts. But you're talking now. Does your chest hurt when you talk? No, but my head still hurts. Everything in time, child. Everything in time. Now what? The boy's path through discovery will not be a rapid or easy one, but I think we've passed the worst of it. Ooh, oh my lord. Thank you, Daniel. Happens the sky is much your words. Bro, can we step outside for a moment? I'd like to speak to you privately. I don't imagine that the outdoors would offer us any privacy. This setting seems as close as intimate as any. Even if the patients overhear us, what harm can they do? You wouldn't tell anyone what you heard here, right, Anton? The boy perked up at hearing his own name. Huh? See, he wasn't even listening to us until I said his name. Fine, we can talk here. Well, I got me to the table. Smaller desk actually that sits near the door. So what is it we need to discuss? I'd like to talk about a dual wart. It worked just fine, and just cracks I had before. That was entirely my fault, the lack of practice. If I did it again, I wouldn't make the same mistake again. Could you use it in combat? Certainly, the dual work increased my healing powers immensely. Its effects would be the same in combat as they would be out of it. It's unfortunate that it's only on loan. It would be a great boon if we had the ability to keep it. We did make a promise to Faith to return it. We should keep our promise. Promise is a promise. J.O. did us a favour and lending us the dual wart. The least we can do is repay his kindness into his return what we borrowed. We returned to the Blighted Woods of Niles the same way we came. We kept J.O. in the woods without incident. So what comes now? Perhaps it's best for me to commune with J.O. in case he has anything further to say to us. Alright. Burrell stands with the back to the tree and places his hands around it. He mumbles for a few moments before the tree extends branches that wrap around him. Burrell's body perks up and his eyes begin glowing as the colour drains from his face. Hello, Half-Elf. Hello, J.O. We've come back to return what we borrowed. I hold the dual water aloft and the branch shoots down and puts the herb from my glass. It is a relief to finally have the dual water back. What exactly is the dual water allows you to do? What is so special about it? The dual water is what allows me to drink the life out of this pool. In return, I keep the forest alive. It is cyclical. Without the dual water, my ability to draw life from water is greatly weakened. In your absence, I have time to ruminate on the dilemma that you share with me. The business to what you relate to, called a castle. I cannot give you custody of the still water, it's far too precious to me, but I can offer you some of its fruits. Fruits? I drink vim with the dual wart. It is within my power to excrete some of it in a form that may be useful to you. Look at my trunk next to your friend. It looks shiny. It's yours to take. I take a closer look at Jay's trunk, and I see a hard bit of sap. I grip it, and the hard sap snaps off. If any one of your companions falls in battle, feed them this sap. They will enter battle with renewed vigor. Ah, thank you, Jaya. Reaching the sap is not an easy process for me. It takes time and precious resources. This is all I can give you. Please don't ask for more. But too generously, perhaps I am, or perhaps I'm simply concerned with assisting you in defeating our shared enemy. Rid the woods of this bright half-elf. Help save my fellow trees. We will, Jaya. I promise it. Shut the politician. Nah, this is rubbish again. Say it round that, yeah. No. End the day. Meet with Sir Cedric. I arrive at Cedric's estate. A page escorts me to his drawing room and he arrives without much delay. Sir Cedric, thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I appreciate the sir, but formality isn't needed here. You're not just serving under me, and besides that, this meeting is very unofficial. Cedric will do just fine. Now, I understand you from bringing a request from Grimwell's elders. Yes, are you already aware of the business now in the fields of Namar? A man in my position has to say well informed. I suspect that I know as much about Grimwell's tactical situation as anyone on the council. Then you know about our need to prepare for battle. Indeed, you need an army. I presume that what brings you before me today. You are correct. Well then, you come to the right place. If there's one thing I possess, it's military connection. That being said, most of the best officers I know have their attention preoccupied at the moment with a matter of local politics. The monument on the hill. So you're aware? Yes, I speak of the tomb of the unknown soldier. Do you need me to spell out the significance of that monument? Do I want Cedric to tell me about the tomb of the unknown soldier? Yes. I'm not sure that I need you to tell me, but I'd like to hear what you have to say all the same. Woo! As you might conclude from the title, in that tomb rests a soldier. His name and family are unknown. But the fact that we can't know by name doesn't diminish his service to his fellow countrymen. The tomb is much more than a burial chamber for a single man. It stands as a symbol and recognition for the many unidentified countless men who have fallen in battle. We can't carve out tombstones for men whose names we do not know. The tomb of the unknown soldier serves to erect a monument to the memories of all who deserve recognition for their sacrifice. So I'm sure you understand why military men such as myself would believe so strongly in the sanctity of that monument. My understanding is that a certain metalworkers guild would like a space to operate as steel smithing. Indeed, did Lady Geraldine inform you of the specifics of what workers want? For the most part, yes. I'm guessing she made the argument that the metal workers need a space so that they can enjoy better working conditions. Is that the main argument she made? Yeah, she said as much. Did she tell you that she's the one that encouraged them to collectively strike as well? That she did not tell me. Well, she did. The metal workers are striking because Geraldine encouraged it and gave them certain assurances that they could be guaranteed free funding to live on for the duration of the strike. I suppose now you may be wondering why it is that Geraldine encouraged them to strike. The thought had crossed my mind. The truth is that Geraldine stands to gain from the metal workers' strike. If their demands are met, they intend to buy up the land and set up a new workshop, the capital provided by Geraldine. She will own a large stake in the ensuing enterprise. Geraldine is trying to create an unbroken supply chain. along that river that allows her to control every part of the weapon's creation, from the extraction of the steel to export of the finished product. Geraldine likes to talk about matters of social equality, but look at the wealth she's accumulated for herself. Don't let her thinking any fool you thinking everything she does is selfless. The metalworkers could build that new workshop anywhere. It's hardly the only hill with the same wind conditions, but Geraldine wanted to maximise profitability when integrating the workshop with the rest of her supply chain, so she had to pick the hill nearest to the river. Knowing that now, I hope you will join me in opposing Geraldine's plans. Please help me and the other veterans preserve the monument. I'm sure it will make it worth your while. Since it says it'll make it worth my while, propose demolition of the monument. Make it worth my while. Even if it's really necessary, my best interest is out with you. Woo! Of course! I'm not near enough to think that she's the only one making you offer. I know you already met with Geraldine.